Thank you. In closing, I want to point out for the district attorney, I know he knows this, that Alexandra's Law was introduced last year. It's working through Congress. The intent is, with perhaps even some enhancements, to begin to give you specific laws that would allow the U.S. Attorney to join in aggressive prosecution. Hopefully, as we're seeing other states who have looked at it and have introduced it, it would become something that would be both a state and federal tool. Because I do believe strongly that for law enforcement, this type of death through deception has to be attacked in a specific or overt way. Yesterday, we also introduced to the House of Representatives the Sanctuary City Accountability Act. I don't want to make this political, but we live in a sanctuary city area, Los Angeles and San Diego. We live in a sanctuary state. As a result, in many cases, the problems you've all told us about today are exacerbated by the actions. And the federal government is estimated to be spending over $152 billion a year in direct relation to these new and unasked for immigrants. Lastly, one of the things that I've found hardest to understand that I want to make sure is in the record, we are talking today exclusively about people who entered the United States through the Mexican border. Mexico has an immigration policy that requires Afghans, Turks, Chinese, and the list goes on and on. Virtually every country on the planet must have a visa to come into Mexico. U.S. or international law requires if someone is seeking asylum or refugee status that they must do so at the first entry to the next country, which in this case, in every case, was Mexico, if not the first, sometimes the second or third, but certainly we were never the first. Under Mexican law, if someone leaves China and wants to come to the United States via Turkey, they arrive in Turkey, a country which will not admit them without a visa unless they say they're going to the United States but don't have a visa. They then fly to Mexico, where Mexico admits them, although they would not admit them without a visa unless they say they're going to the United States without a visa. They then transit unescorted throughout the process, other than perhaps coyotes, to the Mexican border, completely free to remain in Mexico, but with the knowledge that they're coming to the United States. That is the present state of affairs. Not one person we've described today was lawfully admitted to the United States under international law. Every one of them had been admitted to Mexico in violation of Mexico's law and international agreements, and then presented at the border, where our Border Patrol is required to bring them in. NGOs are paid to help them, and in fact, we give them transit throughout the United States. That is the undeniable situation that I have dealt with since I returned to Congress. It is one that I know must end, and I want to thank all of you for your testimony and helping make the record complete. Next week, the committee will meet in Washington, and I'm assured that we will prepare an interim report summarizing our many hearings, including this one today. As is the policy of the committee, you will have 5 days, all of you, to present additional information, extraneous information, that information we talked about getting, so that we may make the record complete. Again, I want to thank all of you, and I want to thank our audience and those who cover this for the U.S. and international press. And without objection, now this meeting is adjourned.